Mongolia and the world. Mongolia's global presence is subtle but significant. Its athletes have excelled in sumo wrestling, judo, and boxing. Its scientists contribute to global climate studies from the unique vantage of the steppe. Its artists and musicians share throat singing and traditional crafts with audiences worldwide. And its people, resilient, hospitable, and proud, carry a deep sense of connection to their history and land. Conclusion. Mongolia may be small in population, but its influence is vast. This is a nation where the past is always present, where the hoofbeats of Genghis Khan's riders still echo in memory, and where the eternal blue sky stretches across horizons that seem limitless. To know Mongolia is to understand resilience, adaptability, and the quiet power of a people who once shaped the course of history and continue to live in harmony with one of the harshest, yet most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Mongolia, heart of the steppe. There are few places on Earth where the horizon seems endless, where the sky is so clear and so blue that it feels like it belongs to another world. That place is Mongolia. Known as the land of the eternal blue sky, for its more than 250 sunny days each year, this country sits at the very center of Asia, locked between two of the world's most powerful neighbors, Russia and China. And yet, despite its location, Mongolia has carved out its own path, fiercely protective of its culture, its landscapes, and its identity. With just over 3 million inhabitants spread across a landmass larger than France, Germany, and Italy combined, Mongolia is the most sparsely populated sovereign nation on Earth. Imagine 2 people per square kilometer, and the rest, wide, sweeping steppes, deserts, and mountain ranges. To travel here is to step into a living time capsule, where modern skyscrapers stand alongside ancient monasteries, and nomads still ride horses across the plains as their ancestors did 1,000 years ago. The beating heart, Ulaanbaatar. At the center of it all is the capital, Ulaanbaatar, meaning Red Hero. Nearly half of Mongolia's population lives here. It's a city of contradictions: futuristic glass towers, Soviet-style blocks, bustling markets, and centuries-old temples blend together in a high-altitude valley. At nearly 1,350 meters above sea level, Ulaanbaatar is officially the world's coldest capital, with winter temperatures often plunging below -40 degrees Celsius. What many people don't know is that this city used to move. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Ulaanbaatar was a mobile settlement of jairs, traditional felt tents, that shifted locations 28 times before finally settling in its current valley. Today, it's the cultural, political, and economic hub of Mongolia, housing the country's only major international airport, named after the legendary Genghis Khan. A new airport has been constructed on the far side of Bogd Khan Mountain, a symbol of Mongolia's growing connection to the outside world. A landscape of extremes. Mongolia's geography is both beautiful and brutal. To the south lies the legendary Gobi Desert, one of the largest deserts on Earth, stretching over 1,600 kilometers. It is not only a place of sand dunes, some towering 300 meters high, but also a treasure chest for paleontologists. Here, in the 1920s, explorers discovered the world's first fossilized dinosaur eggs, along with skeletons of velociraptors and protoceratops. Move north, and the land transforms into sweeping steppes and fertile valleys. The Hungai Mountains roll with grassy hills, while the Sayan and Kongai chains cradle pristine lakes. Lake Kovskal, often called the Blue Pearl of Mongolia, is one of the deepest freshwater lakes in Asia and holds nearly 70% of Mongolia's fresh water. To the west, the Altai Mountains pierce the sky, home to Mongolia's highest peak, Khitan, at 4,356 meters, and the traditional Kazakh eagle hunters who still ride with golden eagles on their arms. Between the ranges lies the Valley of the Lakes, a chain of more than 500 lakes, some fresh, some salty, that form part of a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. And to the far north flows the Orkhon River, Mongolia's longest, winding its way through valleys that were once the cradle of ancient nomadic empires. Climate and survival. Despite its sunshine, Mongolia is a cold land. The Siberian anticyclone dominates the climate, a massive high-pressure system that brings dry, frigid air. Winters can last up to 6 months, with snowstorms and blizzards that test both humans and animals. The most feared natural disaster is the Zud, a phenomenon in which extreme winter conditions cause massive livestock deaths due to starvation and freezing. For a nation where herding is life, a single Zud can be devastating. Paradoxically, the South's Gobi Desert generates dust storms that can blow thousands of kilometers, blanketing Korea, Japan, and even parts of North America with yellow sand. Mongolians have lived with these natural forces for centuries, adapting through resilience and mobility. Nomads and horses. If there is one animal that defines Mongolia, it is the horse. For centuries, Mongols have measured wealth not in money but in livestock, and horses remain a cornerstone of life. There are more than 3 million horses in Mongolia, nearly as many as people. Children learn to ride almost as soon as they can walk. Horses provide transport, sport, milk, meat, and cultural identity. Mongolia is also home to the world's last truly wild horse, the Przewalski's horse, or Taki. Once nearly extinct, conservation efforts have reintroduced them to the steppes. With 66 chromosomes instead of the usual 64, they are a living reminder of Mongolia's ancient past. Other iconic animals include the two-humped Bactrian camel, vital for desert life, the saiga antelope with its comically large nose, and the elusive snow leopard, a third of the global population of which lives here. Food of the steppe. Mongolian cuisine is built on necessity and survival. The harsh climate allows little agriculture, so diets are dominated by meat and dairy. Traditional dishes include kshushur, fried meat dumplings, budog, meat cooked inside an animal's skin using hot stones, and korkog, mutton cooked in a sealed pot with hot rocks. Dairy products are equally important: erul, dried curd cheese, tereg, yogurt, and the national drink arag, fermented mare's milk. While the rest of the world may imagine Mongolian barbecue, locals chuckle, it was invented in Taiwan, not on the steppes. The empire that shaped the world. Of course, Mongolia cannot be spoken of without mentioning its most famous figure, Genghis Khan. In the 13th century, he united the nomadic tribes and forged the largest contiguous land empire in history, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the gates of Europe. The empire brought unprecedented trade along the Silk Road, religious tolerance, postal systems, and even early passports. Genetic studies suggest that nearly 17 million men today may carry a Y chromosome lineage tracing back to Genghis Khan himself. His legacy is everywhere in Mongolia, his face is on currency, his statue towers 40 meters high on the steppe east of Ulaanbaatar, and his name graces the airport in countless institutions. Culture and identity. Modern Mongolians balance tradition with progress. About 1/3 of the population remains nomadic, living in circular felt tents known as jairs. These homes can be dismantled and rebuilt within hours, perfectly adapted to a mobile lifestyle. Festivals such as Naadam celebrate this heritage through the 3 manly sports: wrestling, horse racing, and archery. Wrestling is especially symbolic. There are no weight classes, and competitors wear open-chested jackets, a rule born from the legend of a woman once defeating all the men. Mongolian music is another cultural gem. Throat singing, or kumiai, is an overtone technique in which singers produce 2 pitches at once, creating haunting, otherworldly harmonies that echo across the steppes. Dance, too, often mimics animals, such as the eagle or the horse, tying art back to nature. Religion reflects the country's layered history. Buddhism, introduced during the Yuan dynasty, remains dominant, often blended with ancient shamanistic practices. Islam is practiced mainly by the Kazakh minority in the West, while Christianity has small but growing communities. From Soviet shadows to modern horizons. For much of the 20th century, Mongolia was closely aligned with the Soviet Union. Though never annexed, it served as a buffer state between the USSR and China, adopting Cyrillic script in the 1940s and following socialist policies. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Mongolia embraced democracy and a market economy. Today, it is a vibrant parliamentary republic, balancing its historical ties to Russia and China while cultivating relations with the United States, Germany, South Korea, and Japan. Economically, mining dominates, with copper, gold, coal, and rare earths fueling growth. Mongolia is also the world's second-largest producer of cashmere after China, with nearly 27 million goats roaming its pastures. Still, herding remains central to rural life, keeping alive traditions that have lasted for millennia.